The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had kind of been stuck in this same cycle over the past few years with Baker Mayfield. They've had an above average offense and they have had regular season success, but they are looking to make a big stride forward, and I love what they did in the draft and the moves they made over this offseason, and I have not made a video like this yet for this team. I want to just kind of go over the roster and talk about each player, what the expectations are, how they can contribute, and what this team is looking like heading into 2025, because like I said, there are certain units that I am just so excited about, both offensively and defensively. This team really could be electric if they take the right steps and turn the right gears, so I have a lot to talk about. But first, before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so let's start out with the offensive side of the ball. At the most important position, the quarterback room, obviously Baker Mayfield will be the starter. He was at the top of the league in a special club, throwing for 4,500 yards last season. He really was able to get the Bucs offense to move the ball down the field, and with a 41-16 touchdown to interception ratio, he was efficient. Obviously 16 interceptions is a lot, it's 1 per game, but he plays aggressive, he fits the ball into tight windows, he allows opportunities for plays to be made, so the interceptions are just something that comes with that. Rookie Tez Johnson, ever since joining the Bucs through the draft, has had nothing but good things to say about Baker, saying, I mean, look at what he did. He had Nick Bosa on one arm just to throw the ball. And you're like, oh my god, Baker don't care. Baker don't care about who you are, how good you are. He's going to go out there and go head up with you every single day, and I love that for him. One thing I noticed about Baker is if you turn on our film, if you watch Tampa Bay versus anybody's highlights, and say for instance, someone breaks a long run or just has a breakout play, watch Baker, watch what he does. I can remember specifically the game against the Panthers. Bucky Irving had a big run, and I watched Baker. Baker literally chased Bucky down to go block for him, be his lead block. That's consistency, Johnson said. Now moving on, behind Baker will be Kyle Trask. He was selected with the 64th pick of the 2021 draft, and I'm sure a lot of you guys still remember him from his college days. Really, the thing that gives him potential is size, being 6'5" and 236 pounds, big frame. He obviously has not had a chance to really go out there and prove himself, and I hope that continues this season. But in the case that Baker did get injured or something crazy happened, the Buccaneers do have a guy that is highly regarded for his accuracy and ability to place the ball where only his receiver can catch it. He consistently delivers throws that allow his pass catchers to gain yards after the catch, and he excels at fitting the ball into tight windows. Beside Baker and Trask will be the running backs, and the room is going to look a lot similar to what it did last year. Bucky Irving broke out and had an over 1,000-yard season. All 5 starters on the O-line, Tristan Wirfs, Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton, Cody Mosh, and Luke Gadecki all returned for Josh Grizzard's offense, and all 5 played a crucial role in the Buccaneers having 146.5 rushing yards per game. But Bucky still had to earn that breakout season. It was not given to him. He found the holes, he made the right reads, and he just looked so natural back there and really became a fan favorite. I know the Bucs are a pass first team, but once again, that should open up a lot of opportunity for Bucky with opposing secondaries dropping back in coverage. And then Rachaad White had just over 600 rushing yards in 2024 with 3 touchdowns, so not bad. Obviously at this point, he is viewed as Robin to Batman. His yards per carry have kind of been down, running for just over 4 yards a carry, but he has had occasional games where he made some noise, so he is kind of just a safety blanket. I expect Bucky to get the workload, but it's not a bad thing that Rachaad is there hanging around. Alright, now to talk about what the Bucs have at wide receiver, the position I am just so excited about. Obviously health is the biggest factor, but the top 3 guys right now on paper are Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka. Egbuka was Mr. Reliable at Ohio State. He always showed up every day and got the job done. You knew what you were going to get out of him week in and week out, and with Godwin coming back from his foot injury and then Mike Evans looking to finish out his prime, we could be looking at another 4,500 plus yard season for Baker Mayfield and and this passing offense. Mike Evans had nothing but praise to say about Ibuka so far. I didn't expect to draft a receiver either, but you know, Jason has always been great in drafts, and we wanted to pick the best players available, and from what I've seen so far, he was definitely the best player available, said Mike Evans. So I'm looking forward to a great year for him. Ibuka has clearly caught the attention of Evans this offseason. Anytime you receive praise from a guy with 11 consecutive 1,000+ yard receiving seasons, it's a great sign. And then Chris Godwin over this offseason changed his jersey number to include Junior in honor of his late father, Rod Christopher Godwin Sr., who passed away in January. Godwin revealed this significance as a tribute ahead of Father's Day, reflecting on the profound impact his father had on his life. He shared memories of his father's support throughout his football journey and the values instilled in him. Godwin expressed that this Father's Day held a special meaning as he now celebrates fatherhood himself with his son, Ace. Anyways, behind those three will be Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, and Trey Palmer, and then also Tez Johnson. Obviously, they won't see a lot of snaps on the field, but usually in the NFL, it is those underlying players that you don't really think about or talk about that sub in for the big guns that end up being the needle that either moves the team forward or pushes them back. McMillan is expected to continue as an outside receiver, building on a promising 2024 rookie season where he caught 37 passes for 461 yards and 8 touchdowns. His touchdown total ranked 12th among NFL wide receivers, showing a knack for scoring despite modest overall yardage. Alright, now moving on and switching gears, let's talk defense, which really is going to be the make or break thing for the Bucs, because we all know they can score, move the football down the field, and put up points, but if the defense can't create turnovers and get off the field, the Bucs will never reach their ultimate goal. And the Bucs did a lot in this year's draft. Obviously, they used their first round pick at number 19 on offense, with them taking Emeka Egbuka, but after that, they went heavy defense. They really tried to get guys that have potential to shore up the secondary, both this season and down the line. The first player they took off the board defensively was Benjamin Morrison, a corner out of Notre Dame. They took him at pick 53, and let's take a look at some of his collegiate accolades and what he could be bringing to this defense. In 2022, he was a freshman All-American. He was tied for third in the FBS in interceptions with 6. One of them he took to the house for a touchdown. And then in 2023, he started in 11 games and had 31 tackles and 3 interceptions. And then 2024 was kind of derailed by injuries, but he did play in the first 6 games of the season and had 20 tackles. So really, this is a guy with first round upside. The hip injury just made him drop. So this was a great value pick. Now moving on to the second player that the Buccaneers took off the board, Jacob Parrish from Kansas State is also a corner, and both in 2023 and 24, he was an all Big 12 honorable mention, and last season in 12 games, he had 50 tackles with an interception, and he also had 2.5 tackles for a loss. In the 4th round, the Bucs added an edge rusher to the bunch by taking David Walker out of Central Arkansas. This guy is 263 pounds, and last season, he was first team Associated Press FCS All-American and was tied for 3rd in the FCS with 4 forced fumbles. He played in all 12 games with 11 starts and had 69 tackles and 6 PBUs. Outside of what the Bucs added in the draft, they signed Hassan Reddick, an outside linebacker from the Jets. They signed Kendall Vildor for a super small salary of just over $1 million, a corner from the Detroit Lions. They signed Anthony Walker from the Dolphins. I still remember him from his Browns days, and then the Bucs re-signed a lot of guys as well. The way the defense performs really could make or break what this team can accomplish in 2025, and I'm curious to hear how you guys are feeling about this defense in the comments below. But I can tell you one thing for certain. The team's young core is electric, and there is some fun football to watch ahead. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.